Welcome to Danu on Fire right here on Hi TV, your luxury channel. Today we're checking out Navaratna right here at Taj Samudra, Colombo. And with me I have someone who is an everyday fan of Taj Samudra, the one and only Brian Kerkoven, who I've actually not had on this show. But here he's once again doing something amazing, giving hope to youngsters. Hi Brian.
Hi Danu.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
I have to ask you, year on year you somehow do something, and this time around it's happening bigger.
Yes.
Tell me about it.
Okay, so this year I'm planning to do the Miss Grand International, and luckily for me, a lot of people are willing to come in. Of course, I wish more people would come in.
Yeah. In terms of partnerships and sponsorships.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy to be working with you as well. And Shangri-La Hotel has also come in as the host hotel. And there are so many other people who are willing to come in and support us, but it's never enough.
That is true.
It's never enough.
But doing these type of pageants today has become, unfortunately, in Sri Lanka, pageants are being looked upon like, oh gosh, like there are so many, and when do we actually stop?
Yes.
But you have been in the run for a long time. You have been a model, you have walked the ramp, you have graced many magazines, and you have groomed so many models. What do you think is the most important thing in finding somebody who is going to carry a title?
The thing is, the person should fit the role they're going for. Now, every competition has a title and a meaning for it. Like it's Miss World is Beauty with a Purpose, and Miss Earth is the environment. So we have to find someone who actually fits into the role. It's not just pulling out someone and dumping them in. Right, I think you know that Sadhani represented me at the top model of the world last year. She's from a different agency totally, but I really thought she fitted the bill, and she really did well. So it's like that. We have to look out for someone who
fits the role.
Yeah.
Now, this particular title, what does it stand for?
Miss Grand International is all about stopping the war and violence in general.
Oh, we need that.
Yes, we all. And it also means domestic violence to everything, you know.
So it's from home front all the way to a state level.
Yes, that's right.
Now, you have been in this scene for so long. Have you ever sat back and thought, enough now, I'm just done, I have done what I can, I'm just going to sit back?
The only time I feel like sitting back is when you don't find enough sponsors to help you.
Yeah.
Other than that, my life is just dedicated to these sort of things, because it's giving a lot of chances for young people to go out and represent our country. And quite often, they have brought back good results, and that's something that makes me very happy.
But now, let's go back in time. So, you have been on the ramp since the 80s?
I can't even remember, it's so long ago.
80s, mid-80s, late 80s?
Yes.
So from there, I think that time you all had so many shows, and you used to, I think you all used to have such busy schedules. True. Why do you think it has reduced now? So much so that we have to wait for a show.
This is again because of the financial situation in the country, I guess. Everyone's scared to put out their money there, not knowing what's going to happen next. So everyone's playing it carefully. That they are keeping it close to their chest. They're not sure whether they should go forward with something or not, because what would happen if they do spend all their money in, put all their eggs in one basket, and then it's what happens after that. Yeah. So I think everyone's being very, very careful.
Yeah. In this thing called, everyone trying to be a model, it's so common now because everyone runs a school and everyone is now a supermodel, and it's not even an easy title. What is your take on that?
I think generally the world is going in such a way that it says everyone is a model.
Can identify themselves as whatever they want
to be. Yeah. So I don't want to say, for me, what I feel is I can't go into an operating theatre and just operate on somebody, right? Because I don't have the qualifications for that. So what I think is, even a model, they work so hard. They work on their bodies, they work on their skin, their hair, their everything, right? So then how can everyone say they're being a model? It's not fair to a person who sacrifices so much. We all love to eat food? We do.
And looked at me directly.
I said we.
Yeah, and to stay away from that discipline.
Yes.
It's a lot of things.
So then when you see the others who don't look like they're doing what you are doing, then you think, why am I sacrificing all this when I also can look like that and still be a model?
Correct. Totally agree. We're going to come back and speak more about how the competition this time, the people who are part of it, and so much more after this. Do stick around. This is Danu on Fire. Welcome back to the show. It's Danu on Fire. We're checking out this beautiful place at Taj Samudra. I'm in conversation with one and only Brian Kerkoven. We're talking about this amazing pageant that's going to take off. Now, talking about getting people from all walks of life in Sri Lanka, lots of things seem to be happening, but in terms of diversity and seeing all these different options that Sri Lanka has, very rarely we see it represented on stage.
That's true. But even the international, Thailand is the country that started this, and they also try to get girls from different, what shall I say,
Religious
states
backgrounds,
and states. So they have little mini pageants in every state, but we don't have the time to do that right
Correct.
now. And also, it's a lot of hard work. So what we are trying to do is through our local channel, trying to advertise for people to come in from different places.
Right.
And for this year, and then if we will work together again, I'm sure for the next year, and then we will plan it more in such a way that we can get girls from different parts of Sri Lanka.
Great. So Brian, how did you stumble upon modeling? So you were in the hospitality industry.
Yes, actually I worked here as well.
Oh really?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
So this was your second place.
I worked at the Topaz Candy first, then Cinnamon Grand. Then Renuka Hotel, Cinnamon Grand, here, back to Cinnamon Grand.
Oh, right. Okay. So tell me about your time in hospitality. Because at that time I don't think modeling and things were like a career path to choose and stick to it.
No. I was working in the front office
All the pretty boys ended up there.
if they didn't end up anywhere else.
I didn't say that.
Okay, so I started in the front office and I used to work here, and then Ramani's salon is just around the corner.
Right.
And they asked me to, actually Cheryl used to cut my hair at that time, and she asked me whether I would like to do a hair show for them.
Right.
And since it was Ramani's hair show, I could not say no.
And you said yes.
And I said yes, and that is why I'm eternally grateful to Ramani and Cheryl, because I never wanted to be a model.
Right.
That was not my dream. But I'm so glad I did it, because now I'm giving so many other people opportunities to have a different lifestyle, to learn who they really are. And some of them have gone on to acting and various other professions linked to this. So I am thanking Ramani for all this, and Cheryl.
But this journey that you have taken, so in terms of, you have even done shows internationally, and not only as a model but also as a designer.
Yes.
Tell me about those.
Well, Camille and I both showcased in New York and also in London. My first show was Malaysia Fashion Week, and actually I introduced them to the Colombo Fashion Week people as well. And I have showcased in Spain and a few other countries.
What do you like the most? Looking into the modeling side or looking into the fashion side?
I like them both, because sometimes you take something that's raw and you make it into something very special. You take a piece of fabric and create something that is spectacular and people love wearing it. And then you take a person who people think, oh my God, she's so good, eh? And then I say, and then she turns out to be a beauty queen. And then it's looking through the rough edges and finding a person underneath that.
Now, Sri Lanka has a very stereotypical thinking when it comes to beauty. Fair skin is pretty, long hair is pretty. They have these very listed amount of things that they categorize. But that's changing now. People like Samani and all who have gone and just won titles have come with darker skin and they have appealed to an international forum. For those who are watching and who are like, always isolated saying, Kalu wedi the mandanne,
Yeah.
those kind of thinking, what would you tell them?
Well, from the very beginning, I've always liked dark skin. You can, if you refer back, you will see some of my models who started. One of the girls who started with Daniel, she's Deepthi. She was very dark. She was very successful. And there's another girl of mine who is modeling in Kuwait. She's Vinosha. She started with me a long time back, but she's still modeling in Kuwait. And they were dark skin. And even when I used to do TV programs, I used to be the only designer who would have dark skin models, and they would scold me, "Why are you getting dark skin? It's so difficult for us to get them looking good."
Yeah.
But I used to always like dark skin for some reason. Maybe opposites attract.
Yes, and internationally also it's well accepted and it's appreciated on the ramp. But this project that you're doing this time is also done together with Kamil, and his brand is also going to be a part of it, Lima.
Yes.
Yeah.
Also, Kamil is a co-owner of my pageants now.
Okay.
I've made him my co-owner in everything I do.
Yeah, it's easier that way
Yeah.
as well. When it's two to tango,
Yes.
yeah, then you can just pressurize a little bit on the other side as well.
Yes, he was pressurizing me about what I wore today as well.
Yeah. I would like somebody to sit there and like pressurize me on those. But it's a lovely jacket, so that's made by Kamil. I've kind of requested one as well.
You're getting one soon.
But Brian just said, you might not get the same fabric.
I'm being selfish.
Yes. You might never get the same fabric. But anyway, we need to get into a break because we've got such a beautiful, I think this is a thali, right? But a modern thali, I would say. It's like, it's a North Indian thali, I think. Chef, thank you so very much. By the way, the chef here has worked in a palace. So literally our food is royalty.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you, Danu, for it.
I know. They got the queens on board. See you after the break. Our friends at Taj Samudra, thank you so very much for opening your arms and welcoming us. Brian does some of his best shoots here, and I've always wondered how those pictures turn out so nice. Like, it's brilliant, and I think every time you do a collection, or does Kamil does a collection, yeah, it's always shot here. It's amazing. Yeah. So thank you to our friend Onita who is walking in. If you do come and meet Onita at Taj, she'll give you a discount because of us.
A huge one.
Yeah, a huge one. Just a huge one. Or you can just ask her to pay the bill. One of the two. We are eating North Indian food, and I'm telling you, dessert looks absolutely delicious. You can have a strawberry. It's an aphrodisiac. As if you don't know.
Yum, yum. I'm too old for aphrodisiacs now.
It's sweeter than...
The
Please mute that. Okay, coming back. Oh, such bad words. Now, Brian, when you have like qualified so many people. Of course, modeling, they think, it's just to walk the ramp, artism, you don't need a brain for it. But it teaches you discipline and all those stuff. Let's say somebody does not have the structure that the world requires to be a model. Like, let's say somebody like me walks into your class, okay? What would you tell them? Okay, I don't want to lose weight, I don't want to walk the ramp. Because you will say, okay, Danu, you don't fit these things, but there are other things that you can do.
No, in my first class, I have an introduction into which I introduce models to various aspects that they can do. Do you know that there's a part model?
Ooh.
So you
a part of me.
Yes, you show your best parts.
Oh my God.
When needed, right? So sometimes you see, I'm sitting at this table, and there's this lovely, delicate hand coming and taking the food. Then
rejected.
It may not be mine.
Yeah.
Or I get out of a bathtub, and you see this lovely leg getting out of the bathtub.
Yeah.
It may not be mine.
So face can look like.
Yeah.
Legs can look like.
So my face and somebody else's legs, or my face and somebody else's hand. See, a lot of the commercials are done like that.
Right,
so there are various things that every model can do, right? So you have to find where you fit in, and then you can be a model.
Right, in that capacity.
In that capacity.
Yeah, but it also sort of gives you this confidence, the way you walk, self-care, like having better odor.
And knowing where to shave. I mean, under the arms and the
Yes,
body.
yeah, knowing where to shave. These are things that we should teach. But do you feel like the industry is on the right path today?
In some senses, yes, because everyone likes to feel that they're models.
I mean, everyone is. In Piliyandala, next door to my house, also there are 3 models. I've
What do
seen
they
them
want?
nowhere.
Okay,
Yeah.
there are many more than that.
Yeah.
Okay, so everyone's dream. Like I get so many requests on Facebook saying I would love to be a model and things like that, and they even offer you indecent proposals to become a model. You know,
Like what?
it's censored.
Tell no, you have said the most prohibited word. Tell me.
So it's not only for me now. Supposing the moment you put your name as model, put your title as model on your Facebook or your Instagram, you'll get the same things. I'm sure you have got enough of them.
I mean, nobody asked me for such things.
I don't believe that.
Nothing scandalous like that.
Oh.
I am only trying to send people. None of that is
Has
coming
that
my
worked? Has that worked? No.
No, that's a problem. Yeah, I should really work on that part.
I'll train you.
Thanks, honey. Thank you. Look, there are so many people who have done amazing work from where they started with you. We have had personalities who have become personalities for us to interview them and speak about their growth plans. It could be Onela, who we had on the show. She's gone out to do amazing things. Now she's acting in like internationally acclaimed productions, which is amazing. So these are all like, the route is always something that you start where you can gain some confidence. For those who are watching now, if they want to be a part of this pageant or any pageant, what would you tell them?
To be confident in themselves, not to be afraid, to try. Sometimes you succeed, sometimes you don't, but at least the most important thing is to try, and sometimes you will be amazed at what will happen to you. Because see, like I said, you take a rough stone or and turn it into a gemstone.
Yes.
I've told you about the times people have told me, are you crazy to select that girl? She's like,
Not cut to do that.
and then they turn out to be Miss Sri Lankas for Miss Universe World, things like that.
So amazing. Well, I really like the fact that you do something every year. There's something that's sticking in your workshop, and you're about to like put something new and create new people. Thanks, Brian, for speaking to us today. Absolutely amazing. I wish you all the very best. If people want to buy tickets, they can buy tickets. They can come to know more details on the Academy page or with Brian and Kamil. And at the same time, we would like to thank those who have been a part in supporting such amateur talents becoming professionals. And that's the most important
Thank you so much for giving me a chance to talk about this too.
No worries. You can watch the finale on Hi as well. That's a great thing. Thank you, Brian.
Thank you so much, Danu.
No worries. And we will see you once again with another cool episode to our food encounters on Danu on Fire. Until we see you again, you keep smiling. It's a wrap.